Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm really excited to show you what I have in this box right here. It's from timewalkgames.com, and I'm sure a lot of you already know who they are. People have done videos for them in the past, but essentially it is a website that specializes currently in Nintendo reproduction and custom-made games. They are going to be branching off into Sega games, specifically the Sega Genesis, in the future, but right now they sell Super Nintendo games, cartridge only, complete in the box, NES games, cartridge only, complete in the box, and they can be anything from hacked games that, fans made and they do it up like in a retail packaging. It can be a retranslated version of a game, like say the Final Fantasy games on Super Nintendo, or it can be games that were never localized in America and they fully localized them. They get the translated ROMs, slap them in a cart, and put it together in a really nice packaging. Now, this is my very first time that I've ordered from TimeWalk Games, so I'm really excited to see the packaging on these things, because based on the videos and pictures I've seen from other people, it's nothing short of phenomenal. So, let's get into it. I've already opened the box just to save some time, but as you can see, inside they're packaged very well. I have 3 items inside. One of them is just a box and manual, because I already have a reproduction cart for one of them. Looks like they give you a receipt with it, and here are the 3 games inside. Now, they also do come sealed, so it's not just the cartridge, the box, They actually go through the trouble of putting it in seal, like if you had bought these brand new in the store. So, what do you say we start with the one that is just the box and manual only? And that is Treasure of the Rudras. Now, you guys know I talked about this game in a previous video of games I bought recently, and I had just the cartridge. And now I have the full box and manual to go with it, and I can tell you this box is really sturdy and well built. Alright guys, so let's just take a closer look at the Treasure of the Rudras box. I've already opened it up so you guys can see what's inside and speed up the process a bit here. But inside, I can't believe the amount of work that they put into this, but you get the insert for the cartridge, which is important because you don't want things rattling around in there, and they actually give you a label, so if you have your own cartridge or ways of making reproduction carts yourself, you could just slap the sticker on there and it's all done for you. So that's really cool. And then inside it looks like you get a mini poster for the game, which is a really nice little touch. Yeah, so you get a poster, a Treasure of the Rudras, and then on the back you also get a world map. And it's done on a nice, semi-laminated, pretty thick paper. It's not like cheap, flimsy paper that you can buy in the stores real cheap. And then here's the manual, which is actually pretty thick. I'm not sure if this is translated in other languages. Let's see. Nope, it's all in English, so this is a pretty hefty manual. You can see there's the contents, TimeWalk seal of assurance, and look at all the work that goes into the manual. Full color. Not cheap by any means. This is actually thicker and denser than most Super Nintendo manuals, just from the feel of it. Fully translated how to play the game, which is actually really important because I've played this game without reading like a manual for it, and Treasure of the Rudras especially can get pretty complicated at times. And this is not just a manual just throwing in some text here. I mean, it's full color, explaining everything, character artwork, spells. I mean, they went all out with this. Even weapons, just like in the old RPG manuals where they sometimes will take a couple of pages to show you full color artwork of the equipment that you can use and the items. Really cool. Definitely worth the $35 for that. For those of you that forget what Treasure of the Rudras is, this is a square, soft RPG that never made it over to the United States. It stayed in Japan. It's got a really unique battle system to it in terms of learning spells and creating your own spells, and it's got different branching storylines where you can play as different characters and they sort of all intertwine together. Really unique RPG. I'm really happy to have this. Alright, the next game. This game in particular stayed in Japan. It never made it to any other country, never went to Europe, Australia, North America, and this here is a translated version of it. And it came out really late in the Super Nintendo's lifespan. That's why it never came to North America, because the Super Nintendo was just dying down. It came out in 1997, and it's a Western-themed action adventure RPG hybrid that draws some similarities, people say, to like Zelda, with a little bit of Earthbound in terms of characters and story and writing and everything. But that is a game that I'm really excited to finally play, and that is Gunman's Proof. And from the cover here, you can see some of the logo is in Japanese, and then the English name right there is right below it. And just get a closer up view here of the back. I feel so bad opening these up. It's almost like I'm opening up like a sealed copy of Chrono Trigger or something. You know, they don't have to seal these up, but they go the extra mile to make sure that their customers feel like they're really getting quite an authentic piece of video gaming history here. Alright, so let's open this up and see what's on the inside. Once again, these boxes are very well made, much more well made than the actual real Super Nintendo boxes. Alright, so it looks like we got another little poster here, which is really cool for Gunman's Proof. This time there is nothing on the back, but that I'm not too familiar with the game, but you probably don't need it. There might not be any kind of world map in the game. And here's the cartridge. Now, this is really cool. Something that TimeWalk does with their games is they will hand paint their cartridges. Now, since I've never ordered from them before, I'm not sure if this is something that they've always done or if they just started doing, but it sort of has a nice gloss, dark gray. It's darker than normal. You can see the label there, which was peeling up a little bit there, but I just pushed it back down. Then on the back, they put their own TimeWalk game sticker on the back instead of the normal label that's back there. So really high quality cartridge. And then here is the manual. Once again, another thick, high quality manual with the contents. Now they have certain people, different people do the designs for their manuals and their boxes, and they have I think there's 1 or 2 or 3 different artists that they have. I'm not completely sure, but it's not the same person that does the artwork all the time. It is a joint effort between a few people that work at TimeWalk Games and put all this love and labor into creating these boxes and manuals. So, really nice manual for Gunman's Proof. It sort of takes on a hand-drawn look, which matches the style of the game. I'm not even sure where they get all of this artwork from. I guess they take it from Japanese websites for the game and put it together into its own manual. Very excited to play this. I've heard really good things about this game. It doesn't play like your typical adventure game where the save system you actually have live, so when you do eventually die in here, and they have dungeons and everything, and you have to level up your weapons, and it's really cool, but when you do eventually die, you get sent back to the very beginning of the game. So it's got probably a bit of challenge to it, and it might be a little hard to make it through on the first try. What's really cool that TimeWalk does is they actually use their own branding. They'll put official TimeWalk seal on the box there, and instead of the Nintendo logo, they put the TimeWalk logo, which is really cool, and it's important. And they do it on the front here as well. It's important because in a day where it's so easy to make reproduction boxes and manuals and stuff for games, it's good that they're taking that extra step of precaution to make sure that certain games that are sold on their site are never sold to appear to be legitimate, official game boxes and manuals and carts. And just doing a little altercation on the box like this makes a big difference for collectors, because honestly, it's pretty bad that on eBay these days, you know, sellers are out there selling boxes that are reproductions, but they don't put any indication on there that it's not an official product, and it's a little bit scary. Alright, so the next game. This game did come out in Europe, Australia, and in Japan, but it never made its way over to North America for whatever reason. And this is a game that I've heard really good things about, and, well, it's a little bit strange in the premise. It might not sound like it's the most fun game to play because it involves putting out fires, and that game is The Firemen. This came out in 1994, and like I said, it never made its way over to North America. And the game involves, it's sort of like an arcade style where you play as a fireman named Pete, right, of all names, and you go around and you have a buddy of yours, and you put out fires, and there's all different types of fires, so it actually sort of plays like a top-down action shooter, almost like a shoot-'em-up, just not on rails, where you have to deal with all these different types of fires and fire patterns, and you have to rescue people and go from room to room, and you're on a timer, and you have life that will tick down, you know, as you get hit by the fires, and there's different ways that you can shoot your water to put out the fires. I mean, it's a really supposedly fun game, and I'm really looking forward to checking this out. And let's see what this one looks like. It's so exciting. It feels like, you know, as if I was buying these games back in the day and opening them up for the very first time. Okay, once again, we have another poster. This one, nothing on the back, just like the Gunman's proof one. And the image quality on this one is a little bit lower resolution because it seems like it's this artwork here blown up a little bit higher. But once again, it's just really cool that they put these in there. And, you know, I won't be hanging these up because I don't want to ruin them. I'll be keeping it in the box. But it's a really special little touch into each one of these games. And once again, this cartridge also has the extra little painting gloss over it. I guess because they use cartridges and they might not be in the best of condition. They might have marker on them. So I think it's cool that they go and paint these themselves and kind of clean them up a little bit. And here is the manual. This one seems a little bit less thick than the other ones because, well, this one's not an RPG. It's more of an arcade game. And once again, a really cool design. It's really well laid out. I mean, this could definitely pass for an authentic real manual. I'm not sure what the European ones look like. I'm not sure if they took those manuals directly and kind of just translated them over into their own paper format, or if they recreated these from scratch. I'm not completely sure. So there you go, guys. That is just my unboxing from TimeWalk Games. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and if you want to check out what games they have for sale, I should have mentioned that these games here are $95 each, which, considering what you're getting here in terms of a full-fledged package and the prices of Super Nintendo games these days, I would definitely say that's totally worth it, especially with all the work that they put into these games. Head on over to timewalkgames.com and support these guys because they do it for the love of retro gaming. And yes, of course, it's a business and they make some profit on it, but overall they do it because they love retro games, just like we do. And for those of us that collect retro games, especially for the Super Nintendo, these things are just true gems for our collections. And not only that, but excellent games that most people normally would not have had the chance to play. And, you know, just for those of us that aren't into playing games on emulators and we want to play it on the real console, with the real controller, on the real hardware, you know, on a real TV set, and want to experience it just like we would have back, you know, if we had played the games when they came out, reproduction carts like this are just the next best thing. So, anyway, guys, thanks for watching.